Hey there guys, it's Metro and we are back again. I just had like the weirdest, I tried to start another episode and I accidentally, I have two characters as I was testing out the Death Knight thing, and I went on there and started playing for like multiple minutes. And then I realized, I was like, wait, why the hell do I not have blacksmithing? So we're gonna delete that. That's funny. I almost I almost freaked out. I thought some crazy bug happened because at the time I was actually talking about how, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about what the future here looks like, and haven't made any decisions quite yet. But I'm thinking it's all going to be put into Wrath. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff I don't like about Wrath. And what I was saying in in that episode was that it's also the expansion I know the least about. I played it a ton when it was out, but that was so long ago now that I don't remember much about it. And you know, that might sound weird because obviously TBC and Classic I played a lot too, and it was even older. But I played those a ton on private servers and now on official servers. So I know a lot about those servers, about those projects, I guess, but not a lot about Wrath because I never played Wrath on a private server at one point, at any point. So never. Um, Me and Harry did like, I think I leveled like one time because he wanted to play one. But that was it. So yeah, I gotta figure out what's in Wrath. Well, so here's the big one, right? Naxxramas. I really like old Nax, but I think if it's anything classic related, like if I'm not looking to have, like if I'm looking to have like a very authentic classic experience, then I need to do that on 1.12. And if I'm looking to have a good like overall experience, then I should probably pick one, either TBC or Wrath. And it's just like hard to choose. It's really hard to choose. I definitely don't like. I don't know. There's not much I like about Wrath, to be honest. If the client wasn't so good and there wasn't so much going on with it, it would be totally out. But there is some things like, you know, first of all, Death Knights. We also never put talent points in. We'll do that in a second. Or no, just put them in right now. Scent of Blood. Anyway, yeah, I mean, the class stuff is really elevated. It makes my life a lot easier because I was trying to make like way better class trees in TBC. I was thinking about doing that for every single spec, and I was like, man, this takes a long time because you got to test every spell you make and every talent you change, and it's just brutal. So it feels like Wrath is in a better state, like a lot of the talent trees. Not like we're looking at anything but Death Knight, but yeah, a lot of the talent trees are better. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't, though. Like, they're not worse, per se, but I don't like a lot of what we have on the talent trees. But there's spells, like... So one of the things I really wanted to do was to give healers, like, actual good sources of damage and make them playable. Like, I really want to do a leveling challenge on a holy priest, or a priest in general, I guess, like a disc priest kind of thing. And so... I'm pretty sure Wrath is just objectively better for that than TBC. It looks like all the stuff I liked from Wrath is there, or from TBC is there, and then there's other stuff like Penance, which is a really, really, really good spell to have while leveling. So yeah, I think in general, the future is Wrath, but it's going to be a pain to recreate exactly what I did in TBC. So instead what I'm probably going to do is just commit to this idea here that you know, let the gear be random. I kind of liked the idea of like actually forging the best gear possible with the gems. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's actually better. First of all, because you can, like, it's better to have it be random because you can, try to articulate this properly. Having it be random encourages you to get more loot.
Hello.
First of all. Whereas in the TBC version, it only encouraged me to DE more loot.
See you around.
So this means that it will be very, very, very good to actually craft gear. Like, crafting is going to be incredibly good. And so this might be the best thing about that, because now if I, you know, have an item that I really want the stats of to be a certain way, and I can craft that item, then it'll encourage me to craft it like 40 times until I finally actually upgrade, like get the best upgrades or whatever, the best you know, the best things on it. And because of that, I think that's a better product. Like, I think that's a better product than just farm, you know, something to DE ASAP. Because the thing about the other system is you can get the same powered gem from a level 1 green as you can from a level 70 green. And, you know, when you play it, it's just like, alright, well, I'm just gonna not do, you know, degenerate shit and just try to enjoy the game. But, yeah. Yeah. It would be tough to do that, I think, so. Hard coding the incentives is definitely better, especially since you can always change them. But I think this works better. Oh yeah, there's that rare, very high level mob. Not gonna go over that for there. I don't know. I think it's better. I really, really, really liked, because the reason I liked it so much was in Mop Remix, you can do that. That's how it all started, actually. I had the idea, and then Mop Remix kind of solidified it in my head.
Be careful.
Was that the idea was to have like gear that had basically very little on it, and then most of your power would become from gems that you could empower. And so I never actually did the empower part. But what I did instead was, yeah, basically just make a tons and tons and tons of gems, gem slots available. I don't know. It's tough because there's a lot here, and I feel like there's almost too many ways to customize it, to the point where I get overwhelmed when I think about it, you know? But I really like a system where you can have tons and tons of customization. Like, you can craft the exact character that you want. But I don't think that really works in this version of WoW, honestly. Like, the thing about Live WoW is the stats really matter. Whereas in Classic, it's like, what stats matter? Hit? You know what I mean? Like, it's just very boring stats. Stuff that's not particularly exciting. Like, the best thing that you would see in TBC is you get a lot of value from crit. For some reason, like, in TBC, crit, it's like crazy. You know, almost every caster, especially, just high value for crit. But yeah, I think literally everything. And so so think about what's not here, right? There's no mastery, no versatility. Two really important stats. Although I don't know how resilience works in Wrath. It may work more like versatility. In TBC it doesn't, I don't think. It doesn't do that at all. But yeah. Interesting concept, versatility, because it really helps you. Like, if you could stack versatility, it would be a whole different game, right? That's like, you know, that's the way I play my character, because it feels like whatever the other interactions are, they're less important than just raw survival. And, you know, we also get the benefit of some DPS along the way. So I don't think there's any like stat like versatility that's as sexy in Classic in the early days. It would just basically be armor or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it would be, to be honest. I don't think it exists. So the stats, the secondary stat concept is weak. It's really just crit. That's the only interesting stat. What? It's the only thing, at least in TBC, that interacts in a meaningful, fun way. So I don't know if there's anything. Like I said, I didn't play Wrath, so stuff like that I love, though. You know, like stuff like any interactions like that that make it. That's like retail light right there. You know what I mean? Just like random procs and like the combat dynamics changing. So I think that's all you can do. Is you can't really change the stats to make the game a ton more fun, like you could in Mop Remix. Or, I mean, really, even Mop Remix wasn't that crazy, but like, yeah, I think if you were able to do it in actual retail, it would be insane. Like a full crit Blood Death Knight versus a full versatility Blood Death Knight, like where every single secondary stat on your character is one of those two. That would be a totally different concept. Like, you would play the game and it would feel totally different, right? And that's what I was trying to accomplish, but yeah, I don't know. that it works. So we'll, I think we'll go away from it. I think it's fun to have them be more random. And it's better to just have the full suite of power here. Like, the big thing, like, I think I started talking about this, but I wanted to make, maybe this isn't the last episode, but I wanted to make Holy Pally, no, yeah, we're talking about, right? Discipline. Anyway, I wanted to make healers feel like they're actually powerful for world content. Now there's a really, 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 really cool spell in Live WoW that I don't know that I can replicate, but I probably can't replicate it. But if I could, it's going to be here. Obviously not until you see. But anyways, whenever you heal, you gain something goes well for you. Basically, I like that concept. And Holy Pally have it. Whenever you heal, you do damage based on that amount of healing, which is fucking insane. I doubt that exists anywhere else but Live WoW. But yeah, really, really cool. And if I could have that in the game, I would. That would be a talent for sure. But so instead, what I did was like, let's put actual powerful offensive spells in the Holy Tree for Holy Pally, especially. So I wanted to give them some big AoE damage, like something that because I feel like the fact that Holy Paladin is the talent tree or whatever the spell tree that you get Consecrate in, like maybe that's not even true in Wrath and Onward, but in Classic it was. It seems really weird, you know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, well, Holy's meant to be this AoE spec almost, you know? And so I kind of like that idea. So what I wanted to do was basically I wanted to give them Divine Storm. Like the idea of Divine Storm in Classic doesn't exist, but it could, you would think, right? So let me walk you through. So like my last try here was to basically, I think they call it like downport Divine Storm's mostly graphics. I wanted to do maybe the full spell, but that looked like really hard. I wanted to do that and put it in the Wrath version of stuff that I'm messing with, and I tried it last night, and man, it was impossible, like ridiculous. I don't know, it's just so much work to get one spell. So I think, yeah, honestly, that alone is just too much of a turnout. When we already have access to it elsewhere, it just seems silly to not utilize that. So, I don't know, we'll see. The only thing that really turns me off about Wrath, one, is the content. Obviously, I don't like any of the Wrath content, so it seems pointless to bother when you're leveling, like when your goal is really only to do TBC stuff. But the other thing I really don't like is how a lot of classes change. Like, for example, Rep Pally in Wrath is so different from Rep Pally in TBC, and it's sad. Honestly, I don't want to do this in either of these projects. I'd rather do it in Classic, like I said. But that's out. So I wanted it to be that whole like auto attack heavy thing, and I don't really know. Like, I think Wrath, that's just totally gone at that point. So I don't know. I haven't leveled the Paladin in Wrath in a very long time, so I don't know what actually occurs, like how it feels and plays. But I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's not gonna live up to what I want it to be. But everything is changeable in Wrath, in both, I mean, all projects really. So yeah, just gotta like figure out what the essence of some of these things are and figure out how to make that come through in this project. But in terms of the gearing schema, I think it's actually better to do it this way. As long as this concept works and there's no issues, then I think this is the better place, because this is way more verbose, like the randomness and how random it is. And I figured out how to like, there's actually a table for all of the enchants. Now I don't know that, like, I assume if I add new ones it'll work. I don't know, I'm kind of scared to test it out, to be honest, but I assume that. So yeah, if so, then that's really cool. But there's so fucking many of them. Like, there's a couple hundred, I think. So I don't think there would ever be a situation where we would be unhappy with what we have. Like, I don't feel like I would really need to add any. And so what's left of my previous idea then, there's some good still in it. And what I want to do what I want to take forward with it, here's how I had planned on it playing out. Instead of DEing the gear and getting gems from DEing the gear, you're going to get the sockets. So in this version, I'm not going to make every item have sockets. I'm instead going to make, you know, these belt buckles drop, basically, that you can use to put sockets in said items. So that's how we're going to handle it, I think. And then we will, like, oh, this game sounds are still too loud too. But yeah, I think we'll make that the way it plays out. And then you'll get the sockets. The gems will only be regular gems. Will still exist. We'll allow that to exist, obviously. And then the gem concept that I really kind of fell in love with was this idea where you have like very powerful class spells as gems. I really like this idea of like kind of talents and modifying the game to such a way that it's very, very unique, one way or the other. And so I think what I'll do is I won't touch talents this time around. We'll leave talents exactly how they are, maybe a couple, but I'm not going to do like a full redesign of every talent tree. And instead, I'm going to make a lot of the talents that are the best ones or the most interesting ones to maybe stack infinitely and put those in the gem concept again. I think that's going to be the way forward. Didn't even look at my health. Actually, I'm surprised that didn't happen already. Let's go ahead and pick up some quests while we're here. We'll just take rest sickness. It's only 3 minutes at this level. Is that a wrath thing too? But anyway, yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. And so then the question is, how do you get the gems? So in the TBC version, what I have is you get the gems, like the regular gems, from Brilliant Glass, and you can trade 5 Brilliant Glass in for 1 of the class bags, I think. Oh, I need those, right? No, Murloc Eye we need, right? It's gone already. I always do this. I need all this stuff, I feel like, so. But yeah. Copper tube. So anyway, you get the gems. DEing stuff, basically. I always get a gem, at least one. And then you use those Brilliant Glass, 5 of those, to instead buy the class gems at each like area where class trainers are. You'd be able to buy them.
Light bless you.
You know, in so doing, you'll have, you know, 5 to 1.
Good day to you.
And then I made it so each class gem vendors for the same amount as it is to buy 1 Brilliant Glass. So if you get really screwed, you start over. But so yeah, I think what I'll do is it'll probably be maybe 3 belt buckles for 1 class gem or something like that. I don't know though, because like we gotta balance it in a way that it's actually making sense at end game. But I think the idea there is where we want to be. Something like that, where we're adding incentive to get gear that we don't need. These are like huge factors in this. If you've never heard me talk about this, like very, very big.
Good day to you.
So we need incentives to get gear we don't need. We need the ability to customize gear we have that isn't exactly what we might want into something to be perfect. We have on top of that, like an ancillary side effect of that is like you actually could farm out like absolute best gear possible. Like if you're, say you want crit on every single secondary stat, then you could just find a piece of gear that already has crit. You know what I mean? And then get big crit rolls or something. Like, I don't know. I want that gear, like, I want there to be replayability to gearing, unlike there is in Live WoW. And I want there to be replayability to content, which there isn't in Wrath and TBC and Classic and stuff. So yeah, I think the best way to go about it is to, I don't know, I really like the idea of like reforging or kind of like infinite upgrading like what we have in Live WoW, or I get mostly in Mop Remix. It was like that. I don't know. There's so much in my head with this, and it's just hard to get it all into one picture. But as long as there's no issues, no technical problems here, then we're probably gonna go with this. Especially just because it has Death Knight. I don't know. As much as I like Wrath, or as much as I like Paladin, I think Death Knight is actually probably, it's like a very unexplored thing for me. I've never played it before. What is this, Easter event?
Hey there. See you around.
Yeah. It's almost like it sticks in the throat. I'm committing to Wrath. Like, to say that out loud, it's like, is that a joke? But it's just, yeah. There's just so much here that we can work with that's better.
I buy and trade.
And it's almost got no downsides, really.
See you around.
Outside of having to potentially, like, redesign classes to make them better. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even... It's whatever. Like, the modifications I'm going to make are going to change the way classes play anyway. I like that slow fantasy of a Paladin, but it's not going to matter. Like, once we get it to level whatever the max would be, like, it's going to get... like, everything's going to be crazy anyway, you know? Like, it's not going to be like that, so... Might as well just fucking lean into it. The one thing I really... and I forgot about this. The one thing I really don't like is the, fact that judgments, like, it's so different. Oh yeah, also, man, Paladin's just so much worse. Paladin's actually worse, I think. Okay, it's time we don't want to fly back. I think Paladin is actually worse in Wrath, which is really crazy, but because they have the seals are like not, they're like permanent. It's like a buff. And the judgments are like the different flavors. So like, I don't even know what the fucking point of it is. It's actually awful. I really don't know what the point of it is. It's so much better in Classic and TBC. So again, that can change. That's actually probably the easiest thing that I've talked about that can change. But I don't know how to get rid of the seal. Like, that would be, I'd have to look into that. It might not even be possible. Like, when I need to look into the spell DBs and see if the, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the old judgment spell still exists. Like, they don't really overwrite shit. You know what I mean? Like, here, fuck it, let's just look at it right now. They don't really overwrite shit in these games. It seems like. It's very rare. Like, the spell has to fundamentally... It has to change, but have the same exact identity, I think. And that's when things get overwritten. But if they make, like, a whole new spell and that just replaces the old one, that's usually where it ends up. Ends up being, like, a whole new ID. We have this tool. This guy named Stone Harry made it, and it's, like, crucial as fuck. It's like a GUI or whatever for actual spells. So let's type it in, Judgment. Okay, yeah, see? Okay, so we've... Oh, those are really low IDs. So this is the other thing that's interesting, is to see how the spells changed. So let's do that too. TBC, Wowhead. So we can compare the current ID from Wrath to the ID from TBC or Classic to see exactly what might have changed in that time. Because I think that's really, like, it's important to understand that, because if the mechanics of a spell just get overridden, then that means it's gone, basically, you know? I don't know how to bring it back. I'm trying to do both here at the same time. Is the FPS lower when you tab out? Like that's a feature in a while, for a while, but I don't think it was in Wrath.
How are you? See you later.
Okay, doing 14. We're gonna put more points into Blade Barrier, yeah. I like bladed armor too. Okay, so here's how we'll do this. So we have the IDs. Keep that up. And then we'll drag this here. And so you just type these in to Wowhead. And so it's all very uniform. It makes me think, like, is this actually new IDs? Maybe these are new, but I don't think so. Judgment of Justice. The fuck is that? See, Judgment's like such a complicated spell. So I think what we did here... This is not a spell. I don't know how they handled it. It's very complicated, I think. It's probably the most complicated spell in the game. Yeah. See, these were spells at one... I don't think these exist. Maybe I should be looking at Classic. I think, like, there's a lot of vestigial structures. But yeah, 20,000 is definitely within the game. So this was probably a vestigial structure. Yeah. Okay, so this is something that was there in Classic, like Beta or Alpha or something like that. And it was removed. And so they repurposed these. Well, this is very interesting to learn this. There's Judgment of Wisdom too, so what's the next one? Oh yeah, see? There's one for every seal. Or whatever. So that's pretty interesting, actually. Comparing, yeah. Okay, and then they're gone. So what was the first one? Maybe there's one 83. But there's a lot of vestigial structures for Classic. Like from earlier builds of Classic that really compel you. One of them, let me show you this real quick. This is cool. This is cool. Okay, it's a rogue spell. It's like a, almost like a talent or a profession. And there's a bunch of these already in the game. These are just these here right now. And it changes you into the item, like the topic, whatever, you know. So it transforms you into whatever the value. Turns you into a syndicate. Okay. Now that's all it does. It's just a visual thing and it breaks on combat. But that's easily changed. Okay. And so we already know. Actually, I don't think I've ever really showed this off, but I'll show you something very cool. Scarlet Illusion. This is a spell that is cast on you by, I think it's Chromie. I don't know. Important characters somewhere for the In Dreams questline. Alright. And so this is what we looked at in the other one. Transforms you into something that, it's basically like a mob ID. It just makes you look like an enemy. But then there's this. Force Reaction. This is a faction ID. Like so, Force Reaction. Scarlet mobs. 3 is friendly. So it makes you friendly with them. That's for the quest, to do the End Dreams quest to go do, to kind of infiltrate Hearthglen and, you know, interact with them in that way. But of course, you know, Blizzard made it so the interactions are limited. Like there's no actual, like, you know, it's not really, there's nothing there. It's not a town or anything like that, you know? Oh yeah, we needed the okra. But what happens if it was a town, right? How fucking cool would that be? Like, what happens if there was quests? So I had actually already came up with this concept, and I don't know, someday I'll probably unveil it. I put a ton of time into making almost like a Scarlet, a very, 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 very big Scarlet expansion for Classic, effectively, around one very specific thing that someday I may show off. But anyway, the point of that conversation is that you can do that with that disguise. So imagine if Rogue had specific class content. Oh, look at these. These are actually good. Alright, let's see if we get some good here. Doesn't look like it. No proc at all. Anyway, imagine if Rogue had specific class content for you to go learn the disguises, then use the disguises, and it would allow you to actually interact with hostile, and like, you know, you'd be able to go into Scarlet Towns, you'd be able to go into Dead Mines. Like one of them was Defias, right? So these are just what's here, and then I don't see why it wouldn't be easy to just add new ones. So we have Defias, South Sea Pirates, the Trogs, that would be stupid, but Dalaran Wizard would be really cool, especially if you're an orc or something. But yeah, that's really cool. So that is when I saw that like years ago, I was like, I think that was honestly one of the first things I saw that made me really want to get into it. And then another thing that's really cool that's in the kind of vestigial files is yeah, we could be killing that. I'm sure. Did we get the quest? Yeah, they're just not showing up for some reason. Anyway, another really cool thing that's like vestigial in the files is there's these books. Basically, it seemed like at one point the way you were going to get
Be careful.
spell ranks was they were going to be books.
Looking for something
Like
specific.
I'm not sure why. Let's see if you can see that. No. It would be in the item DBs instead. But yeah, it's actually fucking cool as hell. Like just Tome of Renew, rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, all there. And that was like sexy as fuck for me at one point. I was like trying to really go with that. But I can't really think of a way to go with it. Like I was thinking about it. It's like such a cool idea. But what do you do with it? I don't know what you do with it. You know what I mean? It's almost like just a worse version of the gem thing. Like, so then it breaks down to the idea like, okay, well, every enemy has a chance to drop you power, and that power is going to be, changing the renew spell. But if you do it like that, where they're just books, then it makes every spell like you would just farm them out. You wouldn't choose. You know what I mean? So I'd rather the choice. And so you could say, all right, well, maybe you make the books drop from any enemy and them be like the way that you get the gems. The books give the gems or something, right? Cool idea, but I don't know how to make gear that doesn't loot that doesn't have like class differential drop. Like I don't know how to, or does have class differential. Like how do I make it so if I'm playing a paladin, only paladin runes can drop, or gear or whatever, you know? Like, I don't know that exists or is possible. So instead, that's why I went with just like generic stuff that you can then take to a vendor and use to get. Although the idea of the books is really attractive, insanely attractive. But that's kind of what I wanted. Like, I don't think I'll ever actually do it, but my actual dream for this is to have Diablo 2 style talents and spells, where there's only the one rank. You get the rank maybe even at launch, like, or whatever, at level 1. And then you choose to empower the spell, and that's how you play your character. So like you would straight up have like rank 1 Death Strike, but rank 40 whatever, Blood Strike. You know what I mean? And then you would be using Blood Strike, like that would be your high priority. So I don't think there's a way to do that without just stripping everything from the game. Like you would have to have no talents. I think like I don't really know, because talents don't work given the way. Talents don't really work if you do that. So I think we talked about this already. But like the idea was to have infinite talents, like a talent that can go up 40 times, and that just doesn't function. That's like not possible. Seemingly, it might be if you like rescript the server or something, but like it doesn't seem to work for whatever reason. So instead you have to do like the spell ranks or the gems. Those are the only two options, it feels like. Anyway. Whew, man, I could sit here and brainstorm on this for the rest of my life, man. It's really crazy. It's so it's such a sexy idea that to actually be able to make the version of WoW, like I said this a while ago, but I really wish I could just do this with retail because man, is there great stuff there. Like I would really love to be able to like actually have a hard video game for leveling or just world content in general, like an adequately hard game. But it just doesn't exist. Blizzard doesn't want to do it, and frankly, I don't blame them because I don't think anybody else but me wants it. So perfect. I'm alone here. I'll be on my own server. You know what I mean? If I'm one of one on that topic, then fine. I'll be one of one on the server too. A little scary there. Should probably get some health. Actually got like a good amount of health. Just, I guess we maybe have some spirit now, but if we had a lot of spirit, this would be crazy because we have so little health. It just goes up instantly. The trappers are the ones that are ranged, right? No. I think we have this supply of health pots. Yeah, I think we're all, I don't know. It's just like I needed like a moment to just come to peace with it. Like we wasted all that time on that TBC server. I don't know, the crashes are not great, but it's like not really that big of a deal. I think the tech is just too weak. There's too little information out there about it. Like Azeroth Core is like very, like it's like using RPG Maker XP and not, or whatever, like not using RPG Maker XP to make a Pokemon game. Which is the thing you can do, but it's really not like 99.9% of all Pokemon games are made with that. Okay. And plus, I mean, that stuff's always there if I ever want to go back to it. It's not like I have to override what I did on that project. I don't know. It's just really hard to just... Really, like I said, really, the idea just really sticks in my throat. You know, you ever heard that phrase? Like, it's just hard to say out loud. Like, I'm committing to Wrath. I already changed the fucking loading screen. Here, watch. I cannot. Like, I just don't like Wrath, man. It's really shitty. I think that's like 50% of the block. This is a Wrath client, by the way. Change the loading screen because I just like I don't. There's almost nothing about Wrath that I like. It's really kind of sad. I wouldn't mind doing another playthrough. Like I think if this goes well and I keep having fun with this and we have time to do it, I want to just go all the way. Like I want to see the end of it. You know what I mean? Maybe go all the way to 80. But yeah, realistically, we may not too. You know, because it's just not. Oh shit. Oh, that didn't hit. Yikes. One more time though. It feels like there's a lot of content that would be cool to do as a Death Knight though. Like I could see myself doing a full playthrough of every zone on this, like especially if the character is very fun to play and the combat's very engaging. Plus the achievement system is unsung. Like I don't know that I mess with it, but it is there. Very interesting. Oh shit, what the hell? That fucking mob died, so I instantly attacked a different target when I was spamming number 2. I didn't expect that to crit and one-shot it. But yeah, so let's, I'm trying to brainstorm like what is not in Wrath that I would want. So Nax is the biggest one. That's a fucking big issue. But honestly, it's whatever. On the bright side, New Avalon? You know what I mean? Like, they're basically just, Season of Discovery is basically just Wrath plus, like, Classic, but with a bunch of Wrath shit. So it's like, well, Blizzard knew something I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, they basically are retro-porting Wrath into Classic, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. Do we make content? I mean, yeah, I think. It's fucking obviously. Why would I not? I was thinking about it because they have all this stuff there in Season of Discovery, and it's like, man, that's attractive. Oh shit. Those did aggro, yes they did, okay. But yeah, genuinely not sure what else is not there. I don't know that there's anything not there. And so I like anything that's not good about Nax 40 can just, or anything that is good about Nax 40 can probably just be added to Nax 10, right? I mean, the bosses are still in the game, right? I don't think they like got rid of the content. It's just not accessible by the player. In fact, oh shit. In fact, I bet I can still actually port to Nax. I wonder if that's true or not. Maybe not. Maybe they actually got rid of the files for it and stuff. What are we doing? Done with that. We just need Gorta stuff. But yeah. Seemingly would still be there. So, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, this guy really does feel like the limit. Feels like you can do pretty much just about anything here. And since it's so much better understood and people have made it to be like modded, like it's not like those other projects I was doing, they were made from 1x, like they were meant to be 1x. But this is like literally embrace the mod, you know what I mean? Like this is what it is. It's open source. It feels like it's way more applicable for what I'm trying to do. I don't know. You hear me trying to talk myself out of it, right? Like I assume that's what this sounds like, and that's what it is. I'm trying to say to myself, don't fucking waste your time on goddamn Wrath, man. You hate this expansion. But it's like, it's too good not to, man. But you see, like, so the treasures, those are the ones that kind of also stick out a bit, because treasures are something I really like as a concept. And so in Classic, we have the experience. That makes sense because of how slow leveling is, and I feel like a really good option. And then in PvC, we have the gems. But now in Wrath, we don't have anything because of the problem that we have with looting. I think I explained that, but because I can't have both of these things on, and I don't know how to actually turn off the one. The one is not a module. It's something that got added to the core. Modules are optional, basically, but anything added to the core can't be turned on and off without I think, like compiling the core or something. So this auto loot or auto sell grays, which I don't even like as a feature, to be honest. Like, I don't like that at all, honestly. But anyway, it's a feature of this. There's no way to get around it. And because the other thing automatically gives stats to grays, it doesn't. It like crashes the game basically. So that one means we can't loot, like unless I just delete all grays from the game. Which honestly, that probably wouldn't even be that hard. Just change all grays to whites. It's just not worth it though. I don't like spend all that time doing that. It probably still won't even work. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on, man. A lot to be going on.
King's honor, friend.
A lot to be excited about. But I'm definitely gonna have to just level a character. I have to like. So are we talking about the glyph system? I kind of. Did we talk about that? No, I don't. That was in the first time I tried to record that. But yeah, there's a glyph system in the game. Okay, this is definitely the piece because it's an upgrade no matter what. Oh, we got 2 enchants. Where is it? Here. Wait. I already have a cloak that was an upgrade. What the hell is that from? What did we just get? Cloak of the People's Militia. Where is it? I'm confused. Where did it go? Okay, let me go to the vendor, man, because I don't understand. I only have 2. Oh, there it is. I didn't even see that. Alright, that's not a very good one. Shadow spell damage and fire resistance, but still. Well, actually, I think honestly, yeah, we'll take it.
What can I do for you?
Wait, we have 8 slots, right? Oh yeah, 12 slots, right? Death Knights start with 12 slots. You see those greens being totally useless is definitely a big issue. Okay, after that.
See you around.
We won't vendor anything more. Or I end up having to go do the whole quest again. What was I saying? I don't even know. Oh yeah, that's right. So I have to like sit down. The glyph system is what is like a big X factor for me. And it was I was on the way of being like, nah, I'm not gonna do this in Wrath. And then I remembered the glyph system. And I was like, oh shit, wait, what the fuck? Because that's a very interesting system. But then I was looking into it and it's like, yeah, maybe it's not really because it's like kind of limited. You can only have up to 6 glyphs, right? So even if I made, so like what you would have to do is you would have to make items that were extremely powerful to compete with the gear, like the other schemas that we're looking to have. So like, oh god. We're dead. These ones are actually like faster than us anyway. Okay, we don't need to do this quest here. It looks like it's 1 minute extra from 10 to 20 probably. Oh wait, is it 1 minute extra all the way up? Maybe. But yeah, so anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, the idea of the gems sounded like it was going to just be glyphs for a little bit there for me. But I like the idea of having like many, like, you know, if you could have 30 of one spell, that's how it works in Diablo, right? You can have 40 bone shields or whatever the fucking spells are called in that game. Whereas, you know, with the talent system, if we didn't have the infinite talents, you'd have 5 at most of each of these things. So, I don't know. I don't think glyphs are going to be a thing for me. I think, like, I genuinely won't extend this to Wrath. Like, this is classic and TBC at most.
Well met.
Because I really do feel like that's when it ends. Okay, the okra we need, right? Do we need a flask of oil for something as well?
Need help?
Okay.
For the Alliance.
That should be safe to vendor all that now. We still have 3 minutes on rest sickness again. Time for no pause. Looks like we'll get a 15 here, no problem though. I don't know what the fuck level that guy is. But the bright side is I think once we do this, it's done. Like, we'll never... This is the last time I'm doing this. Hopefully. I'm sure there'll probably be some new development at some point that I'll be like, oh. But, yeah, hopefully the last time we do this. How does rest sickness work? Wait, it's not a thing. Oh, there it is. I spell resurrection with 2 S's, like, looks like by accident. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting rid of rest sickness. I think it's a garbage mechanic. That's kind of a vestigial. Again, like, it's just still there for... Like, who the fuck cares? Like, honestly, why do you get res sickness when you take the spirit res instead of go to your body? It's like an RP thing, I guess? Like, I don't even know. I'm done with it. Let's take the, this part is ridiculous. This should not exist. I don't know how to get rid of it, though. I don't think that's a good idea. So we'll just make it like 0. Make it 1. Because that's like overkill as fuck. To be honest. That's by 2%. Need it to be 0. Yeah, that seems like that's, I don't know, just really outdated. Especially when you're playing alone. Don't need rest sickness. I don't mind the stats thing, but the fact that you do no damage is so silly. What am I even doing right now, man? How the hell are we gonna beat all these guys? Or not? There's too many ranged mobs. Rest sickness again, coming up. This is gonna be a hard quest. What is this? Oh shit. New graveyard. Another thing about Wrath, huh? Interesting. But yeah, I hadn't realized how many glyphs there were. I was really shocked. I learned that. Like, here, let's look at this. Oh yeah, that's a common bug on private servers. Don't know why that happens. The mobs weren't gonna run back until I got here for some reason. So let's take a look at this. We'll look at it in terms of Death Knight though, I guess, since we have the Death Knight as the focus of this playthrough. So you get 6 total. And look at how many there are. So a lot of these are really cool. Like, this is something I would want. Like, anti-magic shell, longer duration. We definitely make that a gem. Blood strike, additional 20 damage to snared targets. Okay. Not really something I would make a gem, but maybe. This one, definitely. 1 additional charge to bone shield. That's crazy good. Chains of ice doing damage, so we wouldn't need that. That can be a glyph still. Chains of ice cause 144. The question is, if I had 2 of these, would it stack? Would it make it do 300 and some damage? Dancing room up and longer. You know what I mean? Stuff like this is exactly what we're talking about. Making the spell, investing in the spell, and making it way cooler. Yeah, so like Dancing Rune Weapon is definitely one. Like, if you had 20 of those, you'd have a fucking 2-minute long Dancing Rune Weapon. That'd be insane. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm going for. So they basically laid it out for me. I mean, just straight up, a buff to obliterate. Like, that's pretty much what they were going for, I think. Like, that Path of the Titans thing If you ever saw them talk about that, if you guys didn't play or know anything about WoW back during Wrath, or maybe some of you guys weren't even alive back then, I always joke about that. But anyway, yeah, they announced something called Path of the Titans, I think it was called. And it sounded like it was meant to be exactly what I'm describing right now, to be honest. Basically like Diablo 2 style talents. Something you were going to be able to put in dozens of ranks for to really dramatically kind of specialize yourself further. So, yeah, welcome back, full circle. Here we are. And then I think they just didn't like it for some reason, and then they went with the Glyph system instead. And, you know, a lot of that shit was, those were probably meant to be Path of the Titan talents or whatever. Yeah, it'd be interesting instead of like, I think, you know what? Oh, holy shit! I just got it. I got the idea, brother. Needs a shit. Here's the idea. The glyph system is going to be allowed. You're going to be allowed to learn spells. Just like Mop Remix, right? You know how you can get Blink in Mop Remix as a Paladin? Okay. Oh, man, what a great idea that is. So I got to figure out how that works. And, like, what happens if you take the glyph off? But I think it should work, because it's the same system, right? Because that does not work with gems, from what I could tell. I couldn't figure out how to make that work. But, yeah. That's it right there, I think. We make it so the gems are just for powering up, almost like extra talent points. And then the glyphs, you can learn spells that you wouldn't normally have. But what do we need it for in Wrath? It's definitely a great classic idea. When you have like 4 spells. In Wrath, it's a little bit less powerful, but still, I think that's the play. Because I mean, yeah. And I guess we got to figure out if there's a way to make glyphs available earlier. Because I don't know how to make that happen either. There's mobs down here, right? Okay. All right, we also have talent point. I think we'll go bladed armor now. Although blood rune tap is very interesting. Yeah, let's do rune tap. See, I try to add a 6th to see if it worked here on Wrath, and it doesn't. So, oh yeah, rune tap. Okay, and then, I mean, probably. I mean, we kind of want all of these, to be honest. But yeah, that's, I don't know, some cool ideas. A small heal. Not that good, to be honest. But wait till we get the gems, brother. I mean, we're probably gonna end up having to do a whole nother playthrough of this because now that we've come up with all this stuff, you know, I don't know. Do we just pause it and go make all these choices, or do we? I think we just do it, see what it's like, see how, you know, if it's fun to get what we have going, see what TBC looks like, because I've not, you know, no idea what that's going. That's a big X factor. It might be like, might change my whole thoughts on this, but also really want there to be, see, that was the only good thing about the gem system was you can do a bunch of small stuff. Like, I wanted there to be experience ones. Okay, so if I'm gonna add anything, that's what we gotta add. We gotta add experience ones. To the enchants, that is, sorry, to the gem, or to the gear concept that we have currently. I want there to be enchants that can give experience, higher experience. That seems like a really cool idea. There's fucking gnolls in here, what's this about? Oh man, why does that happen? For some reason these casters are uncrippable a lot of times. Presumably a bug. Is there a lot of gnolls? Yeah. Strange. Oh, treasure just like hanging out in the corner there. Also, Mars Volta released a new album, like randomly. I did not like their album that came out like a year or two ago. I really liked Mars Volta, by the way. But a lot of it's like feels like kind of nostalgia at this point. Getting hammered by this fella. But yeah, those first two albums are two of the best pieces of music ever written. But yeah, the new stuff is just totally different. I don't really like it. But the newest stuff is actually not bad. It's like a whole new. It's hard to even consider them the same band, but yeah, whole new sound. All right, that's brutal. I don't know what that is, but. Jesus. I think we got a parry there or something. Like, there's one song on that album that's actually really fucking good. I've listened to it a ton. One of their best songs. But it wasn't a lot that stuck out, unfortunately. Very strange sounding, some of the stuff. Oh my god, how's that aggro? What's going on? It's resetting? Oh no, he's just fleeing. He didn't get slowed while he was fleeing, which I didn't know was a feature, but must be. Oh, we should have changed our hearth ship. Still in Stormwind. It's actually fine, I think. God, this is, I don't know. Now that I'm kind of like verbally committed to it, I feel like a weight is lifted off my shoulders a little bit. Like, okay, now we're just, oh God, what is happening? This really is hard mode. Like, I think it's a bug, to be honest. Like, I've never ran into this much aggro. But I never really came in this area before in my life. I only came down here because I figured with mining it'd be a good option. Stop. Definitely getting a We're definitely making a gem to reduce the CD of Death Grip, 100%. There's already talent like that. Oh, I have glyphs now. You gotta be 15-4. Okay. That's actually quite good. 15's perfect. Ah, I can't. I keep thinking we can grip that. That's really unfortunate because that's the one mob we want to grip. I think it's just bugged. If you try to grip it out of combat, it doesn't work. Okay, so glyphs at 15 is interesting. That definitely changes stuff. Because I think what you can do is you can add, like, some pretty key important spells. Like, I just don't know how we distribute them, though. Do we want to make it an actual part of the profession? Because that's why they were added in the first place, but that profession is just absolute garbage in my eyes. Like, I've always thought it was terrible. Yeah, so you can get them once you aggro them. Two river paw here. Just enough healing to stay ahead. I'm probably gonna run into respawns on the way out. Maybe we should eat up. We need to pick up actual jewel crafting too, though. We talked about that. I never did that. That's something we need to do. Come on, this disarm is killing me. Oh my god. Getting fucking missed as well, Jesus. Barely survived that. Oh my god, really? Respawns. Yeah, the actual like hostility of this server is very high. So this is actually a good thing, I think. This helps make it a little bit harder. Without having everything just be based on damage. Okay, we're dead. Alright, we'll take rest sickness again, I guess. That was maybe stupid. Let's go turn here. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're gonna hearth. Actually, oh yeah, we need to end the episode. Let's hearth. I didn't realize what time it was. Okay, end the episode. We'll come back, finish the stuff next episode. Yeah. We're going to go craft stuff. Made everything stack, by the way. I did that off screen. Yeah, that all stacked now too. Let's get some more food while we're here.
Looking for something specific?
Not the same. The cheese, dollar on not, I guess, appreciated around here. No surprise. So 240. Well, that's level 5. Is there better? Yeah. We don't even really need it though. It doesn't matter. Gold's basically a non-factor in this playthrough. Could do with a mining bag of some sort.
honor.
It's hard to get used to. No latency. Doesn't even. Where do you even see latency? There it is. Yeah, 1. That's actually. How is it not 0? I guess. I don't know. Maybe there is no 0. What can we make this? I don't know what we would even craft at this point. Bronze stuff, yeah. Feels like we might be out of interesting stuff to craft for a bit.
How are you? Off with you.
Can we make bronze? Well, we need to go. We have tin, yeah, we have a little bit of tin. I think you can get 4 bronze bars with this. I don't know exactly how it works.
How are you?
Yeah, the person's upstairs.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Interest you in a pint? Very good.
We won't smelt the silver yet, though, because... Oh, yeah, it's 2. Alright, perfect. We can get a good one here. We can craft a bronze item. That's another thing I need to do is make it so, usually I make it so every quest is max level, so it always gives experience. Because otherwise, if you do a level like 5 quest at level 20, you get no experience whatsoever from it. I gotta do that too. Alright, craft some bronze. And what can we make with 8 bronze bars? Certainly something. Can we make a weapon? Is that what we have on? Oh no, we have way worse. Oh, wait. This is the thing I made, and it got yeah. We can actually make that, maybe. Alright, oh, chest 18, though. 16. The boots, I guess, but we got really good boots. That's it. So, I guess we'll make the legs. This will be 16 at some point. Oh, wait, hold on. No, everything's 6 or more, so we can only make 1 item. Chest is probably our best investment. Maybe we'll just wait. I think we'll just wait. We don't need the potions in there. I don't know why we have so many non-materials in there. So, craft a weapon, I guess. Also, that weapon. It's a high stamina bow. That needs medium leather. But we have a ton of light leather. I guess we got it from chests or something. So yeah, we'll make 3 of these, I guess, or these ones. Heavy copper. Oh no, yeah, no. We had been making copper claymore. That's what it was. Now we can make this, right? That's immediately an upgrade on this. So weak flux. Probably make 2. It looks like. Alright, nothing. One more. Nothing again? Holy shit, that's really bad luck, isn't it? I haven't seen that get hit Shadow Bolt 30 damage thing. Does that exist? I guess I'll get rid of the weapon. I don't know. Some of that, you never know. Maybe they just don't work too. It's hard to be sure because if it's not stats, we don't see it. You were 1 bar short. We shouldn't have made all that bronze. That was a mistake. I don't think there's really anything else that's worth crafting at this point. I mean, we got strength on that. That's decent. Oh, well, those are worth crafting. What the hell? That has strength on it already, and that piece is awful. So, all right, we'll make that.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Hopefully, get something here. 3. Oh, this big one. Big one, big one, big one. Huge one. Still don't know how spell power factors in, but yeah, 18 agi, 17 stamina. Holy shit. That's a big one. God, gigantic. And we actually only, we gained 1 spell power, but still, it's an upgrade. Even on that front. Alright, well that was a gigantic item. God, this is fun, man. It really is fun. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.